All right, Shalom Makim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching his word in all true faith and sincerity. And today, I just want to get into a lesson concerning witnessing this transition of power. It's certain spirits on the planet Earth that's going to see this transition and witness it and be a part of this transition to the kingdom of heaven. You know, uh, to actually witness the downfall of the so-called white man and his reign of terror, and see that establishment of the kingdom of heaven, man. And we are in those times by these things that's happening in the planet Earth. When you read 2 Ezra, the 9th chapter, it tells about how we shall well understand that this the time. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Second Ezra chapter 9, and I started at one and said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we know where we are in those times by the way of these prophecies unfolding, man. So we in a time where that power is about to be transferred. You know, we finna witness. You know, the fall of E and the rise of Jacob. Matter of fact, let's get that in 2 Ezra the 6th chapter, 2 Ezra 6, and I start at 7. It reads, then answered I and said, what should be a pardon asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And this inquiry has been from all the prophets. Wanting to know when would things be summed up. When you can also, when you read Acts the 1st chapter, Peter asked the Lord, would thou at this time restore the kingdom unto Israel? So this inquiry has been from all the prophets waiting on this moment that we're in now. The end of the first is Esau. So the next that follows got to be Jacob. So you go into the statue of Daniel, it wasn't just the toe, that wasn't the end of the movie. No, that stone that came out. Which that's our Lord Yahweh Shai. He's gonna bring forth that transition, man. That's why I say he's gonna have those many crowns. But it's gonna be certain spirits on the planet Earth that came and experienced this system. You had to clock in and out to sin and destruction and actually seeing the kingdom of heaven being established. So it says, continue on, he answered and said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. See? So Esau is at the end, he's the end of the world. And this is what we at the end of Esau's world. This man and his reign of terror. That's why really the talks now, you really want to just get to the nuts and bolts of it, keep it black and white, is the only talk is concerning war and this digital system, man. Because ultimately that's the last two prophecies that's coming to end this man off, man. That's going to sum up his story. Once he implement that chip, make it mandatory, the next step is the destruction. That's it. Then it's on to the next, which is Jacob, man. You know? So this is what we had in this process. Matter of fact, because Esau, he's going out in a violent manner, and those that dwell in Israel, they're gonna go out as well. 2 Ezra 8, and I started at 1. It reads, he answered me, saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. See, so that also show you there's certain spirits on the planet Earth that's going to be a part of this transition, which is the elect. You know, this world, what we in now, the so-called white man, his reign of terror and how this system is set up, is made for many, for the wicked. You know, for those that that move in the flesh and under the shadow of Esau, it's convenient for them. You know, every desire can be met within this world if you are part of it. That's why it's made for many. But it said the world to come for few. But so that few is in this world and it's awkward. Really, for things to be made right, you want the destruction. And also going back to the point is that few is going to be a part of that transition, to witness this destruction. It says, I will tell thee a similitude, Ezra, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee that it giveth much more wherein earthen vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. See, and that's concerning the elect to everyone else. Dirt is not as precious as gold. You can step outside and come across dirt, but that gold that is precious is a precious metal, man. And that's not just something you could just go and just start digging. You got to notice where, the certain hot spots and things of that nature. But that's concerning the elect, the jewels of the Lord. He said, even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. See? So that shows a lot of people are going to be destroyed. They're going to be put to death in this time. See, when the smoke clear and the dust settle, that's going to be figurative and literal, by the way of these plagues. And even when the Lord actually sitting that fire, man, it's only the elect who is going to be able to withstand because of the blood of Yahweh Shai, man. So as you can see, there are going to be many created, but few shall be saved. So really, when we get into it, we in the beginning stages of immortality by taking on this word and this understanding. and it's actually going to lead to us being immortal, man. Matter of fact, let's go back to 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter. 2 Ezra 6, and I start at verse 25. It reads, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape, and shall see my salvation in the end of your world. See? So that's only for the elect, because these certain words that's associated with the elect, such as escape. You can read in Isaiah the 10th chapter, those that escape, the remnant that have escaped, as well as to see my salvation. That's reserved for the elect, man. It talks about that in Thessalonians. The Most High have not appointed us to wrath, but ordained us to receive the salvation of Yahweh Shai, man. That's what we hope to be a part of, man. It says, and the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. So it says you shall not taste death from your birth, and that's concerning this lifetime. This is the time now where we're embarked on that path to immortality. Because after this, scriptures talk about there's not going to be no more death and sorrow, and so that immortality begins now. So it's certain spirits on the planet Earth, going back to the point,
that's going to witness this transition of power. Lord, when we parted righteous number. For matter of fact, let's get an example because we had Daniel. He was actually witnessed the power being transferred. Going back to the Medo Persian. Let's get this real quick. Daniel 9:1. It reads, in the first year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, the seed of the Medes, which was made king over the realm of the Chaldeans. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, understood by books the number of years whereof the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah the prophet, that he will accomplish 7 years in the desolation of Jerusalem. So as he seen that event unfold, as the Babylonians was taken in the night, it was clear to him, that this what Jeremiah was talking about concerning the 70 years. And so matter of fact, let's get Daniel the 5th chapter, because it's, in a sense, we going through that again. We in a time where the Lord is accomplishing our iniquity. Our iniquity is accomplished. You read Lamentation, the 4th chapter. So things are about to be summed up. So as we see things unfold, we understand that this is it. This is the Lord making due on his promises, man. So let's get this real quick. Daniel 5. It might be toward the... Bear with me. We talk about in the night. Man, so like, bear with me. Okay, it might be at the top. Let's see. Man, I can't find it. Let me see this night. Damn, I can't find it. Okay. Let's start at and this is the writing on the wall, which once again, this is what we're seeing now, writing on the wall, man. So this is on Daniel 5 and 24. It reads, then was the part of the hand sent from him, and his writing was written. And this is the writing that was written, many tickle of Harson. This is the interpretation of the thing. Many, the Most High have numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tickle, thou art weighed in the balance and are found wanting. Paris, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. And like I said, once again, this is actually happening, because Scripture said what things were written aforetime, written for our learning. Once again, we're seeing this playing out, but now it's in its perfection, because the technology, you got missiles involved now. So yeah, Esau, he's the Lord has finished. Everything has been summed up. He has ran his course, and it ultimately said that kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians, which we know they're not going to be the next up, but the feet of the bear, which are the Russians, that's going to contribute to the downfall of this system as a whole, man. Yeah, so because of the Medes and Persians, because you got the Iranians as well, but the Medes, the Russians, getting with them is going to contribute to the downfall of Babylon the Great. It says, then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet and put a chain of gold about his neck it made a proclamation concerning him that he should be the third ruler in the kingdom. And that night was Belshazzar the king of the Chaldeans slain, and Darius the Median took the kingdom, being about 62 years old. So Daniel witnessed that prophecy. He was there, and when it became clear as things unfolded, he understood this what Jeremiah was talking about. So now where we at in this time, everything is about to be summed up concerning the end of the world, and the kingdom of heaven being established. Matter of fact, I end up on this in the book of Daniel 2:44. Daniel 2:44. In the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom. See, so this is what we get. The Lord is building up the kingdom of heaven. Beginning with our minds. This gathering, going back to that world of come, is for few. It said, which shall never be destroyed. And that shows that the previous kingdom is going to be destroyed. Beginning with America, Babylon the Great. It says, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. See? The next regime, man. And it's the elect that's going to be a part of it, and it's certain spirits on the earth that's going to witness this transition and be a part of it, man. So yeah, Akim, I just hope it will edify and like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect that teaches word in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom.